Hello and welcome to my Playhouse. This is Joe from N90X and I wanted to introduce you to my Playhouse, Poland's largest Citrix only hosting solution. As you can see, the one rack behind me is full of Citrix gear. Whether I took the Citrix label off or not, pretty much everything in here except for 2 Apple servers and 2 additional servers are all Citrix. And I'm running VMware vSphere 6.7 cluster and Citrix XenApp, Zen Desktop, and a few other things. So let me show you around. Starting on the bottom, this is a KVM switch for some of the older servers. But I've got 2 APC 1500 power backups. Then I have 2 NetScaler 11500 series boxes running VMware. They've got dual 6-core, so 12 cores with hyper-threading. That's 24 cores each, 48 gigs from the factory, but that can be upgraded to 192 gigs. Above that is a NetScaler 10500. I switched out the fan so it's quieter. It's not turned on right now. Above that I have what was a Riverbed, and that is running FreeNAS. Above that another Riverbed running FreeNAS. Bunch of NetScalers. There's my SDX clone on top. Then I have 2 Apple Xserve servers. In the middle is the original NetScaler 7000, and then a couple more SDXs, and on the top there is my 10 gig switch built from the parts of a, I think it's a 7500, NetScaler 7500. So pretty much everything in here, with the exception of a couple of boxes, well 4 boxes all total, is Citrix hardware, and it's working really great. And you can hear it, listen to it. It's pretty quiet. Now some of the older equipment is definitely loud, but for instance this top one, I switched out the fans from 3-pin to 4-pin fans. The newer hardware has the 4-pin pulse width modulated fans, so as you can hear in the bottom there, those guys are my newest, most powerful servers, and they're some of the quietest because you're able to set it to pulse width modulated 4-pin fan server mode, and it'll ramp up when it needs to, but when it doesn't need to, it just is quieter, still pushing out a lot of air to keep it cool. Cable management, it's completely 10 gig right now for the most part. A couple machines are not 10 gig, so cable management is not really that great here yet. The white cables here are for the lights out management, so 3 of these have lights out management. Well, actually 5 of them have lights out management, but I'm only using 3 of them right now. That allows you to remotely control the servers. Well, turn them on, turn them off remotely, and which is really nice and handy. 10 gigs, as you can see, 10 gigs going up to my switch. So I've got the three VMware hosts connected to the switch, which then connects to storage. In the back, you can't see the connection to the storage, but it's all 10 gig. This SDX here, my clone, I did not put a 10 gig card in there. It's running off of 1 gig, but most of the hardware is internal on a flash, so it's fine. It's good for now. Also notice that for helping to not only quiet and also cool it, I've got some of these baffling 10mm foam, which prevents hot air from coming to the front. So I basically have a hot side and a cold side. It also provides some noise cancellation. I coated the sides with this. Here's a piece here. It just flaps down. Just again prevents hot air from coming to the front. So this is obviously the cold side, and in the back is the hot side. It is about, what is the temperature today? Even though it appears to be sunny, it is actually probably around 5 degrees centigrade, so in the low 30s, low 40s Fahrenheit. And that's what's great about having this set up in my office here, is that it heats up the room. I've got all the radiators turned off to 0, and when I run these puppies, I'm burning about, I think I measured it, the max I burnt was around 6 amps and about 900 watts, but steady state it's around 700 watts, which is not bad for having all this equipment up and running. Now, my plan is, I'm certified VMware vSphere Professional 6.7. My plan is to deploy vSAN, which would technically, or let's say theoretically, allow me to turn off the FreeNAS device if I can get it to work correctly. I'm going with a full flash, 100% flash, at least initially. I've got 6 used 180 Intel flash drives, SSD flash drives that I'm going to deploy. So 2 per my 2 per the 3 that I'm having in this cluster, at least initially. I don't want to see how that works out, and I'll do an update on that when that's running. What else? Oh, sound absorption. Check this out. So I've been mentioning some of the sound absorption stuff I've been using. You know, on the ceiling, I've got some of this stuff here. In the back, of course, on top, but also the front. I'm using this plastic, I guess usually for roofing. I think it's probably about 5 or 7 millimeters thick, and it is corrugated. I've added some of this 30 millimeter pyramid stuff to the front, and a 30 millimeter solid to the well, the outside front. This is the inside, and it clips on just using some alligator clips. And you still get plenty of. Oh, you hear how that quiets it down. It's still not that loud. Got a little thermometer there. 21.8 degrees centigrade in this area here. So as you can hear, it's not. You know, I'm just talking normal, you know, a very quiet conversational voice. Here I am whispering, a little bit whispering, and I'm literally a foot away. You know, probably 20 centimeters from the front of this rack, and I think you can hear me quite well. So this setup is helping to not only keep the noise down, but also circulate the heat into this room. I can crack the windows, you know, I got these kind of side windows here and there, let in the cold air. It does circulate, but I'm usually trying to pump the hot air up and out. In the summertime, it does get pretty hot in here, and that's the only downside, because this is the space above the garage. So I'm on the I'm on the 2nd floor in America, 1st floor in Poland, and it doesn't stay as cool as the other rooms do in the summertime. This room will get hot, but it still doesn't affect performance or allowing me to run it. It's just, as a human being, I need to do either add air conditioning or do a better job of getting the hot air out of the room, which I have some ideas on how to do that. We'll see what happens, but at least in the wintertime, which is pretty much 9 out of the 12 months here in Poland, it's perfect. It's a perfect situation. And that's my Playhouse, and I'll be adding more to it as we go along. So please hit that subscribe button, thumb it up, and tell me if you have any questions. Do you want me to go deeper into any of my configuration? All right, until next time, this is Joe from N90X, and I'll hope to see you on the next video.